Do you ever wonder what in the world is on all of those real estate contracts? Well, I'm going to show you. I'm Brandy with the Come Home team of Better Homes and Gardens, and I'm here this week with a tip for you if you are selling your house. Well, last week we got through page 4 of 15, so we definitely have a long way to go. So let's just get started with page 5 and we'll see how many pages we get through today. Let's get started. Page 5, number 9, conveyance. Unless otherwise specified, this property can be conveyed to another person. That means that the signatures on this real estate contract have the legal right to convey the property and any improvements on it. It also conveys any mineral rights unless the seller specifies that those mineral rights do not convey. Number 10, title requirements. Now, as a seller, you have to acquire title insurance to transfer the deed over to the buyer. If the buyer's getting a loan, there will be a mortgagee or a lender portion of that as well. So you can split the cost and get a combination policy if the title company will allow you to do that. If it is a cash purchase, then there is no mortgagee portion, and so the title insurance cost would be solely your responsibility as the seller. Page 6, section 11 talks about surveys. This is pretty straightforward. The buyer will either ask for a survey or not, or the buyer may ask if you have the most recent survey, but that survey is only for informational purposes for that buyer. They may not be entitled to the legal benefits of that survey. Now, if the buyer asks for a survey, you can pay for it for them, or you can split it, or you can say, no, I'm not going to pay for it. If you want a survey, you're going to have to pay for it yourself. The next section, section 12, is about prorations. And what this is it's basically saying that you as the seller are responsible for any prorated amount due for things like property taxes or maybe an HOA due, maybe any rental deposits, things like that. Section 13 talks about fixtures and attached equipment. Now, when we go through the inspection repair survey addendum, also known as the IRSA, we'll get more into what qualifies as a fixture and what does not. But this section, section 13, basically is saying that any fixtures or attached equipment will convey with the property at zero value unless otherwise specified, and the buyer may also ask for additional personal property. A lot of times a refrigerator or a washer and dryer are things that a buyer may ask for in this section. Page 7 of the real estate contract is all about contingencies. So it's section 14. Part A says that there are no contingencies other than the ones that are already listed in this real estate contract. Part B says that there are additional contingencies. Most of the time, what you'll see here is that a buyer will say, this real estate contract is contingent upon me as a buyer selling my home and closing on my home by X date. Now, if the buyer selects Part B and there is a contingency, there's two options. They can have a contingency where there is binding with an escape clause or without an escape clause. Without an escape clause basically says that you can't show the house anymore. If it's contingent with an escape clause, that means that you can continue to show the property, and if you get an offer that is more attractive than the one that this buyer gave you, you can notify that buyer that you have another offer, and they have a specified number of days or hours to remove the contingency and move forward with the contract or terminate the contract at that time. Okay, that's it for today. We are halfway through the real estate contract. Come back next week. We're going to try to finish it, or we'll see how many pages we can get through in 3 or 4 minutes. And that's about it. So thanks y'all for watching, and I'll see you next time.